Restoring abortion rights to citizens proves less polarizing than legalized sports betting. We're breaking down those numbers coming up. And Donald Trump is relishing in what his supporters call the greatest political comeback in American history.
So I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
As Team Trump prepares to return to the White House, they are promising a new era, but not all are convinced.
He's going to be a president for all Americans.
Fear and anger won. He played to fear and anger, and that prevailed.
And after several hours of silence and reflection, Vice President Harris just offered a vow to those who believed in her run for the White House.
While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
Hear more about how she's asking her supporters to move forward.
And we're in a cool, seasonable, and dry stretch through the middle portion of the work week, but coming up in the full forecast, we'll talk details about rain returning heading into the weekend.
Live from across mid-Missouri, this is KRCG 13 Live at 5.
I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people.
After 2 impeachments, tens of thousands of documented lies, felony convictions, a bid to overturn his previous election loss, and surviving an assassination attempt, Donald J. Trump once again holds the title of president-elect. And for the most part, the presidential polls this election cycle appear to have been correct. Every swing state was along a narrow margins. President-elect Trump had a slight lead in Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, and Georgia on Monday. That's according to a Real Clear Politics average of polls. Every other non-swing state went the direction pollsters predicted. Real Clear Politics had Trump winning the presidency with 287 electoral votes and Vice President Harris winning 251. The election's final count is not over, but Trump currently has 295 votes to Harris's 226. And right now, national correspondent Kayla Gaskins is in West Palm Beach, Florida, to elaborate on what's next for President-elect Donald Trump.
Please welcome President-elect Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump using his victory speech in the early hours of Wednesday morning as a look to the future.
We're going to make this so great.
Once in office, he's promised to tackle top issues he campaigned on, such as fighting inflation, fixing the economy, and securing the border.
We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally.
Trump has also promised to increase tariffs, a move he says will boost domestic production. Critics, though, fear it will make inflation worse as the cost gets passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. Trump also taking a moment during the victory speech to highlight those who helped him win.
Unbelievable people standing by my side. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people.
Those who stood by him could be potential cabinet members, such as Elon Musk, Democrat turned Republican Tulsi Gabbard, and billionaire Vivek Ramaswamy. Trump giving a special thanks to his vice president-elect, J.D. Vance.
He's turned out to be a good choice.
Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me.
Trump's main goal, he says, is to undo all of President Biden's policies and pick up where he left off 4 years ago. In West Palm Beach, Florida, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
And the National Desk question of the day asks, why do you think Donald Trump won? Was it his position on the economy and inflation, his talk about cracking down on the border and immigration, or was it his experience or the change he plans to bring to Washington during a second term? You can vote in the poll by scanning this code on your screen. And Special Counsel Jack Smith is currently evaluating how to wind down the 2 federal cases against President-elect Donald Trump. That's according to sources for the Associated Press. Justice Department officials say there's no reason to pursue either the election subversion case or the classified documents case now that Trump is returning to office. But it's unclear how the cases will be unwound or what will happen to all the evidence or other defendants charged in those cases. And the re-election of Donald Trump could mean changes in American support for Ukraine. The president-elect and his running mate, J.D. Vance, have criticized U.S. backing of Ukraine. Residents in Kyiv shared their thoughts on the outcome of the U.S. election with CNN.
I think it's a great news because he has already been president of the U.S. For 4 years, and during that time there were no wars.
I surprised, but it's a bad surprise because I think it's very bad and not good, not only for all the world, but for Ukraine too.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was among the first world leaders to publicly congratulate Trump on his victory. In a statement on social media, Zelensky said he appreciates Trump's commitment to, quote, peace through strength. Approaching global affairs, Trump has repeatedly said if elected, he would get a peace deal done between Ukraine and Russia within a day. He has not provided details on how.